Ladies and gentlemen, inductee Tony Mabrey. Tony Mabrey was born on January 26, 1961 to Skeeter and Janine Mabrey in Albertville, Alabama. Tony has one brother, Louis, a Methodist preacher in Lake City, Florida. Skeeter played basketball at Douglas High School in the 1940s and later at Jacksonville State. He had a tremendous influence on Tony's love for athletics, as did his grandfather, T. Mabrey, who also had a positive influence on Tony and his teammates during the early recreation league years in Albertville. At an early age, Tony participated in baseball, football, and basketball, but by the time he entered Albertville High School, it was apparent that basketball was Tony's favorite sport. As a sophomore, Tony began playing for Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame coach Shannon Sloan. He began his junior season starting at the shooting guard position and quickly began to flourish as an excellent offensive threat, averaging 17.7 points per game. Tony was selected to the All-Marshall County team, All-Region 10 4A team, and was named the Aggies Offensive Player of the Year. He is shown here with Hall of Fame teammates Rod Rudolph and Greg Henderson and best rebounder Gary Gore. Between Tony's junior and senior year, he attended basketball camp at the University of Tennessee, where Coach Don DeVoe and other Division I coaches began to take notice. As the 1978-79 season began, Tony and teammate Rod Rudolph, a Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame high jumper, would quickly become known as one of the top 1 and 2 guard combinations in the state. Tony would end his senior season averaging 25.9 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. On February 19, 1979, he scored 42 points against Fort Payne in a game that gave Coach Sloan his 400th victory. Even though the Aggies lost to Guntersville by 1 point in the Marshall County Tournament Finals that year, Tony was named Marshall County MVP. He was also selected All-County, All-Region, Second Team All-State, and was named to the Birmingham Post-Herald's 5 most wanted prospects in the state of Alabama. After his senior year, Tony narrowed his college choices to Auburn, Alabama, UAB, and Southern Mississippi. On March 20th, 1979, Tony is shown here with his parents and Coach Sloan as he signed an NCAA National Letter of Intent to play for legendary coach Gene Bartow at UAB. Mabrey saw playing time as a freshman at UAB and was the only freshman on the team. During his freshman year, the Blazers hosted DePaul University, the #1 ranked team in the nation. The UAB DePaul game had the largest crowd to ever see a basketball game in the state of Alabama. During that game, Tony led a comeback with 2 25-foot jumpers over Mark Aguirre, the NCAA Player of the Year. But the Blazers fell short of the win by 1 point. Coach Bartow would later say that was the game that put UAB basketball on the map. After his sophomore year, Tony transferred to Jacksonville State University to play for Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame coach Bill Jones. After sitting out 1 year, Tony became eligible for the Delta State game. During the first minute of the second half, Tony sustained a knee injury that would require surgery, and he missed the remainder of the season. Tony made a comeback during the 1982-83 season. After a few games into the season, he sustained a second knee injury that ended his playing career. Tony turned his ambitions toward a coaching career and became a graduate assistant coach for Coach Jones. In 1987, Tony was named first assistant for the Lady Gamecock basketball program. In the next 3 seasons, the Lady Gamecocks compiled a record of 72-18 and 3 consecutive trips to the NCAA playoffs. In 1991, Mabrey was named the Lady Gamecocks head coach. The team included returning All-Conference and All-American guards Jana and Dana Bright. The 90-91 season would prove to be the winningest season in Lady Gamecock history, compiling a record of 26-4. The Lady Gamecocks led the nation in scoring at 91 points per game and would go on to win the Gulf South Conference Championship and the NCAA South Region Championship. Over the next 3 years, Mabrey would compile a record of 60-24, including a Gulf South Conference Tournament Championship over reigning national champion Delta State on their home floor for the first time in JSU history. During the 1994 season, Tony returned back to the men's side as the first assistant for Coach Jones. Over the next 3 years, Coaches Jones and Mabrey would guide the Gamecocks through their transition from NCAA Division II to Division I AA and into the Trans-America Conference. In 1997, Mabrey returned to Albertville High School to become the Aggies' head basketball coach. In 1999, he became the head boys coach at Appalachian High School. In 2002, with a strong commitment from the administration, Coach Mabrey was asked to become the head men's basketball coach and athletic director at Snead State Community College. Over the next 4 years, Snead would see great improvement in their basketball program and facilities, including a renovation of Plunkett Wallace Gymnasium. Tony is married to the former Roseanne Edmondson of Arab, who is the assistant principal at Guntersville High School. They live in Guntersville and have 4 children, Amanda, Tony, Chandler, and John Dudley. Ladies and gentlemen, Class of 2014 inductee, Tony Mabrey.